Welcome. My name is Manoj Sachwani. I'm your host, and you're listening to the One by One Show, a weekly solo podcast where I try to help you and me both by talking about freelancing, full stack development, design, writing, content writing, personal quests and updates, current affairs in the industry, some opinionated philosophy and methodology that I find intriguing, curious, and helpful. I'm a freelancing full stack developer, designer, and writer. I've been working in this field for about 21 odd years, and I'm passionate about sharing my experiences, tips and tricks, advice, thoughts, opinions, and ideas on this podcast. This podcast is an attempt to give back and improve myself at the same time. Let's start with the first segment, introduction. This week's episode is just an introduction to the podcast series. As mentioned before, this podcast is a solo endeavor, so I'll be talking directly with you. No guests or interviews. I'll be keeping these solo podcasts as short as possible. Each episode will be no more than 10 minutes long and divided into 9 segments. For conversations and interviews with other guests, you can check out my other podcast, The People Talk Show. Segment number 2, personal quests and updates. In this segment, I'll share personal quests and changelogs or weekly updates. These can range from my physical fitness goals, successes, or struggles to professional aspirations. Hopefully, you'll be able to relate to some of them, and this may end up helping someone somewhere. Segment number 3, opinionated philosophies. This segment will contain some opinionated philosophies on various topics. These can range from my thoughts on personal growth, things that work, things that help me with my daily routines, getting things done, philosophies or methodologies, to my perspectives of my own and of others that have left an impact of sorts. I believe that having an open and honest dialogue or a monologue is a way to find our bearings, wants, or aspirations. This podcast is a platform for me to do so and experience that too. Segment number 4, what I'm building and releasing in public. I'll be sharing updates, information, etc. about my current projects, their progress, any new releases I have planned, or anything else in the works. In all likelihood, all these side projects will be related to freelancing, full stack development, design, and writing. It's going to be a ramen type of segment, this one. Segment number 5, current affairs. I'll be sharing my thoughts on current affairs. I believe it's somewhat important to stay informed and educated on what's happening around the world and related industries. Mostly I'll share my thoughts on current events relevant to the tech industry, freelancing, design, and writing again. Segment number 6, freelancing. If you are a freelancer or considering freelancing, I'll be sharing my tips and tricks for success that have over the years worked for me. You'll be hearing my experiences, some advice on how to find clients, balance your workload, and navigate the ups and downs of freelancing. Segment number 7, full stack development. As a full stack developer, this segment will contain my thoughts and experiences on or with the latest trends and technologies in the field, some tips for those who are looking to break into the industry, what exactly is full stack development, some courses or links to videos, and so on and so forth. Segment number 8, design. I believe that good design is essential for any kind of product, rather any kind of interface that we deal with in our day-to-day lives, digital or otherwise. And this segment is about various tips and tricks for creating user-friendly interfaces, branding, my experiences, again, tips and tricks, advice, and so on and so forth. Segment number 9, writing. Writing is an essential part of my job as a freelancer. Whether creating content for my website or other websites, writing blog posts, articles, poetry, or code, it's an important integral part that we deal with, grammar, so on and so forth. This segment will contain tips and tricks for creating quality content, as well as my thoughts on the importance of good writing in today's digital age. This segment will include journaling, writing tips, products, processes, and more. That's all for this week's episode of the One by One Show. I hope you found it informative, curious, and interesting. If you have any questions, comments, or anything to say, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. Alternatively, you could head over to indefiniteloop.com or manojsachwani.com and contact me from there. Thank you for listening. and I'll see you next week.